I can drop any of this gear.
Oh, must have hit the wrong button there. Okay, we're back. So our current challenge is no challenge. We are going to do some cooking here. So I was just saying I am done with all my classes for the term. I am, all I have left is one summer course, which is actually just a research project. Finish line is in sight. Let's do that. it's just dog food. Dog food. This one I can cook. I already feel more distinguished. I get to add more letters after my name. It's always funny to me how I'm looking more my name. If I were to add all my degrees afterwards, it makes me look like I'm someone from the 19th century who's a member of a whole bunch of different honorary organizations. It's like, oh, I'm in the Royal Science Society and the Fellows of the, I don't know, whatever, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I am, according to the U.S. government, a mutant of, no, not a mutant, alien of exceptional ability. Maybe I should start listing that. People will say, what is that? What is AOEA? What is it? I don't know. But as it is, it's like you put them in order of descending rank. So right now, like if I were to list everything, that would be me. If I'd done the dual degree, which is like the Master's in Archive Studies as well as the Master's in Library and Information Studies, then I would end up with something like this. Which I think is funny. Yeah, I think it looks like that. Is that right? Masters in Archival and Library Information Science. Mouse. If I had done children's literature instead, then it would be a Mackle. Mackle. Mackle's too weird. I want to do Mackle. I'll have you know I've carefully chosen my degrees to minimize my income. It's all been very strategic. Let's just throw the torch into the hay. That's a brilliant idea. It's still bad. There we go. There is a decreasing return on graduate degrees, I think, for certain fields, right? It was interesting to me. We had alumni night tonight, so they had invited 10 people that had graduated from our program a few years back to come back and and basically, provide sort of an evening where we could chat with them about what they were doing and what advice they would have for us, and what type of careers they ended up in. And it was interesting because a number of them were working in specialist libraries, like law libraries, or like was it biomed or marine biology, without having degrees in those areas. And I thought that's really odd, but they were saying that's increasingly the case, is that what the library wants is someone who is good at working with people and knows how to find stuff. Whether or not they actually have subject expertise is actually not needed at the start, because they're expected to learn it as they go. Which is interesting. So it's not to say you can't get hired with additional degrees or training in an area. It's just that it may not be enough to distinguish you from someone else who's just better at handling people. Go, potato, go.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Oh. Must have bumped this. Let's see. Better. Okay. So I was mentioning before, but apparently my mic was off, that I will just do a short stream tonight because I have to be up super early tomorrow. Because once a month I host an online Zoom call with international writers.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
So I have to host it in their time zone, where what will work for most people. It's actually still not really a good time, but it's what we got. Yeah, so I think I'll probably go for about, let's see, we've been on for 20 minutes, about 19 minutes now. We'll go about an hour. So that will mean I'll finish. We'll see. We'll see if we make it the full hour. Yeah, maybe even end with a short poem. is empty.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Yeah, I could do something like that. So I'm trying to think what else I can share. Well, let's see, last room was Tuesday. Wednesday, we had our meeting for the book jury I'm on, for one of the book juries I'm on, and it was, we each brought our top 10 selections, and we had our conversation about it, and it was pretty amazing that I'd say about 60-70% of our choices were pretty much the same as everyone else's. So we ended up being, despite being very different people, being very closely aligned. So it made it very simple, easy to settle on our final list. And we were all pretty happy with our choice for the winner. So that was nice. And I got my grades back for the last few assignments I turned in, or presentations I did. I think I told you about the twine game that I made with my group mates on one class where it's did we play it online?
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
I don't know if we did. It was an interactive fiction game, a twine game, where you're an undergraduate student and you are put into a number of scenarios where you have to decide how you're going to use or not use artificial intelligence. And it presents you with different ethical situations. Okay. What's our plan here? Well, I think we want to go back to Coastal Highway. Yeah, so it wasn't the last librarian game, which I still need to finish. Hey, at least we finished one game, so I guess I should play that sometime on stream. I should give you guys, it's not very long, it's about maybe 9 minutes. Or actually, it's up on itch.io. Let me give you the link for that. Yeah, go ahead and play it. You can play that. There it is. Anyone wants to play it, they can play that. It's not very long. It's if you go the darkest possible route, it can get pretty dark. But most of the routes are fairly tame. Anyways, class we did that for I was chatting with the professor earlier today, and he said he really liked it a lot. He thought actually we should present it to some of the university librarians and see if they'd be interested in us doing a version for them. You know, take some feedback and then make some modifications, but they think, you know, he thinks it's a really good idea. He liked it a lot. He said he gave our project only twice in his entire career teaching has he given a score that high, which is nice. And so that went really well. And then there was the other presentation, which we did for a different class, where we presented on a very nerdy subject. Well, I don't know if it's nerdy. A very librarian subject. It's on orphan texts, which is basically texts that are technically within copyright, so they're within 70 years of the author's death. But the publisher no longer exists, and there is no way to reach anyone. Like, it's undetermined where the rights are for the, who owns the rights. And so most universities don't really have a good policy for how to include these works in their online course reserves or in their teaching materials, because there's a slim chance that there might be a lawsuit. So what do you do? And so we came up with a policy. That was for the information policy class. We came up with a policy proposal, but then we also were given the task to come up with a 5-minute skit or presentation or pitch that would help someone unfamiliar with the subject grasp why a new policy was needed. And so we, my partner for this project, he was so excited about it that he wrote the whole script in one night, and then we performed it. And it's basically this university professor of English literature, poetry, who calls up the librarian and says, or the copyright librarian, and says, "Hey, I've been trying to add this text to our online course reserve, and the system keeps rejecting it. What should I be doing? How do I make this work?" And so they have a conversation about what's going on with the text and why it's not being accepted, and then what the options are, which are not great options. And it was all very funny. We have this, and partly it was how well it was written, but also I think we did a great job of acting it out. Anyways, the professor was so impressed that, actually the class was so impressed, our classmates were so impressed that we were voted the best skit or pitch of the class. And so we got given these gift certificates, and then the professor contacted us afterwards and asked if we would make a video version of it, so that she can use it in future years to teach. So we were rock stars. It's like all those years of playing D&D helped me have the ability to ham things up, because we were basically playing ourselves, like exaggerated versions of ourselves. I was playing this cantankerous professor, and partner played, because he actually works for the library already, played the helpful but powerless librarian. And so anyways, when we make the recording of that, I think we'll probably post it to YouTube to make it available for the public, and I might share a link for that too. Uh-oh.
like it.
Anyways, tell me what you think of a little assistance.
Hope nobody needs this anymore. There's not much we can do here. I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Okay. So one of the things I've been considering for our next run after this one, so whenever we get bored of this one or we hit 100 days, I'm wondering if I should do a interloper run using the mods that there's a mod, I think it's called the long development, or maybe that's the group that does it, but anyways, it's expanded regions. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should do a run that takes place in there. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Go away. It's okay, we've got lots of stones. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious about that. I have not done anything with the mods. I'm not really interested in greatly modifying the gameplay, but adding more regions is kind of cool. I don't know if they auto balance themselves for the different difficulty settings or not. That's another question. If they add new regions but they're not rebalanced for each of the difficulties, then it might not be as interesting, because if they're just too well stocked, then it's just no fun in that. So what'd you think, Roller? Did you live your life with integrity? Did you cut a few corners here and there? Or did you end up with a criminal history? I mean, the goal is basically to help students see their own, like recognize their own information behavior. Like how do they engage and play with these things, use these things, and appreciate that there are consequences and repercussions for some of the choices they make. Okay, here we go. Off on a new adventure.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, this stuff will come in handy. I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Ahoy. More matches. So I think I'll do maybe another 15 minutes or so. So I can definitely get enough sleep. Okay, probably won't be enough sleep, but it will be a valiant effort in having enough sleep. Yeah, we wrote that game in about, I want to say 2.5 weeks. And I was the only one with programming background. So I taught them the basics of how to write the stories for Twine. Basic code. And then I basically handled all the assembly and integration aspects of it. So the project management I took care of, and then I wrote all the logic for any of the more clever or unexpected things. Ooh. Grades are hard, yeah. Yeah, especially when you're an undergraduate and you're tempted to spend your time doing other stuff. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, look at how many matches there are here. There's like 2 boxes just lying around. And we had 1 other box in this mine, so there were 3 boxes of matches in this mine. Are we still an interloper? Weird.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Okay. 52. We may have too many.
Come on, little fire.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that's not the case too. It's be weird to have, weird and petty to have someone try to sabotage their own group. What? Someone's here. There you are. Go away.
on, little fire. That didn't work.
That didn't work. What's up? Ooh. Okay, about 5 minutes left, and then we're gonna pack it in a little early.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
Start thinking about what we're gonna read.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's 12 right now.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Yeah, then you don't mind if I actually call it quits early either. Okay. Astrid is tired. Babbage Nader is tired too.
I need to find food.
Okay, let's take a look at how we're doing here. Cooking's almost at 2. Archery is on its way to 2. We've been here for 3 days. Really? That's all we got? I guess that's all we had time for. There we are, officially 4 days.
Man, I could eat anything. I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Okay, there's our save. Day 4. Okay, we are going to go, let's see, read something old, read something new. I read something last time from my little ancient chapbook, Yellow Earth Songs, that were all poems written after I got back from 2 years in Taiwan, which are all very different from how I write today, but is nonetheless poems that I do like. Okay. Where the stone lions watch. We come here this afternoon, and I'm not understanding why it is so hard to find you, why your name escapes me engraved on these stones, portals to the underworld, and I am wandering in the city of stillness, this hill of silence, and all I know is the smell of incense burning here. Where are you, grandfather? Your face a distant shadow fading, and I never knew who you were before my feet brought me here, seeking some tie, some link, some union to my past. And this no funeral money ever buys, just ashes. And it seems to me that many streams meet here. My walking partner seeking himself, seeking something in between these worlds, and I can hear your voice in the underflow of old water moving, silence guarding those that sleep, where the stone lions watch. So this is a poem that was inspired by the last area. So I spent 2 years in Taiwan as a missionary, and my last area that I was stationed in was a tiny town called Yangmei. And Yangmei, really pretty much more like a village than it was a town. I mean, it's urbanized, but it wasn't a very large settlement. Happens to also be my grandfather's, and I guess you would say ancestral home, at least in Taiwan. So his family had come over to Taiwan from mainland China many, 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 many years earlier. And so this was a community where I would say 20 to 40% of the time I would run into someone who had the same surname as my mother. So it was all like distant relatives of my mother's side. It was totally trippy that there were so many people with the same surname, which is not a common surname. And I had heard from my mother that my grandfather's grave was there, like he was in a family tomb there. But I had not been given clear directions of how to find it. So I spent one whole afternoon, on a non-proselyting day when we're just supposed to do, laundry, exercise, do a little sightseeing. We decided to go and check out the cemetery to see if we could find my grandfather's grave, and we spent a whole afternoon, could not find it anywhere. And so I kind of wrote about that. Yeah. Okay, and we'll do one super short poem. I think we'll read Short from Babbage's Dream, because it is short. This is from Babbage's Dream, my second book of poetry, published by Syndress Publications in 2017. Short, a fundamental type for declaring small integers. In shallow waters, we say it is enough to use a small raft bound with reeds and twine, enough to name oneself after the mayfly, the airborne pebble before it skips and descends, after the sound a shovelful of earth makes as it falls into the darkness of the grave, or what we say to whatever leaps across the silence that sparks brilliant in the tiniest of containers we have laid in the earth. Here we store only the smallest of fires. It's only for a little while, we say. But soon, everything is burning. Soon, we can't remember what we said. The hallways are filling with smoke. Someone stands at the window, shaking. There you go. So short is, a variable type for containing small integers. Usually you don't need like this gigantic, data type. You can use this if you know your numbers are always going to be very, very small. Then you can get away with like half of that size, bitwise half of that size, which is, I think up to 256, or is it 512? I can't remember. Anyways, so I imagined like this sequence of very small things in the world. Things that had small numbers, small size. This is something where we hold, it's a container for very small things. And yet, things are always spilling over. So that's where that one comes from. Okay, so we're back here. Let's find someone to raid. I'm going to have to raid and run because I do need to get to sleep. Ooh, Games and Cookies is up. Okay. Okay, and I will be back. Uh-oh, Games and Cookies are wrapping up already. Okay, so. Are you wrapping up? Oh, I think they were saying goodbye to someone. Okay. Okay, we're heading off. I will catch you guys again Saturday night, most likely. Ooh, I don't know. It'll be a tough call. I may have to be late on Saturday night due to another commitment. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear.